Hello and welcome to the first round of the American Touring Car Championship, ATCC. This is Season 3. We are at Road America, currently in the qualifying, the practice session even, ahead of the qualifying session. Qualifying starts around 10 minutes time. As I say, the first round is here at Road America circuit. Very, very long circuit. Very, very fast, lots of sweeping corners, lots of elevation change as well, over 4 miles long, 6.5 kilometers. It's still in its original configuration from when it was first made and created back in the 1960s. And with very few tracks to be so. And here we are now watching Darius Widerski around the circuit. Why don't we ride on board with him and I'll talk you through. The roof cam now with Darius Widerski's currently top of the leaderboard. There's 17.495. Very, very quick for a practice time. I would expect to see the qualifying times in the high 16s. Of course, it's going to be quite difficult, it being just a Super Pole lap. Tonight will consist of two 11-lap races, both races with mandatory pit stops. Let's ride on board now with Darius as we watch the track sideways there from Darius, trying to get the best possible speed out of the final turn onto the main straight, which is aptly called Road America Straight. Reach very, very high speeds here, over 150 miles an hour, hurtling down up the hill, down under the past the pits, down toward the first turn. The first turn is a very, very fast fourth gear. Chuck it in. In we go. Through we go. This is just called turn 1, no special name in particular. Head down now into turn 2. Very, very crucial corner for getting that speed onto the next longest straight on the track, which has you down here, and down now, down towards Moraine Sweep, which is the downhill part of this circuit. There's a very, very hard braking zone coming up at turn 3. Tight left-hander, second gear. And as he sweeps through using all the curb there, again more elevation change up the hill into turn 4. Very, very easy to outbrake yourself into that corner. In 10th down the split, it's just before that bridge, before that corner. Now through turn 5, much more difficult. It looks, have to get the line right properly through there. Down, hurry downs into turn 6. Another tight corner. Plenty of runoff on the outside here though to be able to use. And now into the carousel. Long corner with 2 apexes. Get the first one right, then drift out wide as much as you dare, then get the final apex there, just clip it, get the power on as soon as you can before you hurtle towards the kink, which is turn 8. Again, 2 crucial corners. Kink is very, very easy to flat out in these cars, but it can be a bit of a challenging, faster, less aerodynamically efficient cars. And down now it goes towards Canada corner, again hard braking. Not so much runoff here, but you can carry plenty of speed into the corner. We head now, this is Thunder Valley, and straight into Bill Mitchell corner. Again over the rise, you can easily take it flat out, but you still have to take the right line into there. And now into the final turn, very, very tricky turn, especially in front wheel drive, because as you go in, you have to lift off the throttle, because it's front wheel, because the cars are front wheel drive. Back end will just slide out, and it's very, very easy just to not get the power down early there when it's so crucial for this run down this straight, because Darius Widerski is in the BMW 320. That's a time of 2:17.9 now. Looks like he might be returning to the pits. Indeed he is. Let's go on board with somebody else while we run through Francisco Villar, who came third in the pre-qualification at Watkins Glen. I'll run you through some of the pre-qualification results as well. Top of the table of pre-qualification was a Dragos Harbour, but he is not certain to be running tonight, and if he does, he'll be in server 2. Again, this championship has 2 servers, 50 drivers taking part this season in 2 servers. The pre-qualification was done. Oh, people not noticing each other there. It could be actually that Francisco Villar's car has not been loaded by the other car in front there, which will have to be a Synaptic Racing Honda, which probably will be Nelson or Talbog. But Villar himself was third in the corrected pre-qualification standings, behind Talbog and Miguel Neto, his teammate in Arts Racing, which is an auto racing team from Portugal. He's heading down now towards the corner. 4th place was Eric Nelson racing for Sneptic Racing this season. 5th was Tyler Skurlock. 6th was Keith Barrick, the organiser of the series. Season 1 champion. Season 2 champion Vincent Calm was only 18th in the pre-qualification standings, but then again only needed to get in top 25 to be able to take part in Server 1, be eligible for maximum points. So it wasn't really as crucial as perhaps it could have been. Rounding out the top 10 was Matthias Mern, Kane Lasky, Sal Buscher and Adam Vaughan. Again, might be the American Touring Car Championship, but a very international flavoured scene here. NATO from Portugal, for example, Tarborg from Denmark, Nelson is American, Barrett Canadian, Matthias Mern is from Slovenia, slow racing team. And then we have Adam Vaughan, who's Welsh. Very, very diverse field indeed. It just shows the quality of the field that people will stay up at this time of night. It's 2:30 in my time. I'm sure it's a little bit later in Denmark, which I think is an hour ahead of me. It's 3:30 in the morning and wanting to race in this series just shows the quality of the series and the closest competition. And just on that particular thought, the difference between between 15th and 38th place, of course 25 is the cut-off, so between 50 and 25 was obviously a very, very crucial stage in the pre-qualification. Between 15 and 38, just less than half a second covered the entire field around the very, very long track of Watkins Glen, which is almost 2 minutes long, almost as long as this track. And for the field to be half a second apart there is just an incredible feat, really. As you go down the list, you know, it's from 14th, 52.83, 86, 86, 87, 87, 89, 93. Incredibly close times, hundreds of a second apart. The top between 14th and 20th, for example, was covered by just 1 car length. So you're a couple of tenths off the pace and you were missing out on the Server 1 action. Server 1 is being broadcast only, Server 2 is not being broadcast. But we'll keep you up to date on the happenings in Server 2. That was my spies come along and tell me about the results. And therefore we can keep up to date with those in Server 2 as well. There is a slight overlap in the points structure. Finishing in the top 17 here will give you more points than in Division 2, but if you win Division 2 you'll get just as many points as finishing 18th in Server 1, so it gives a little bit of bonus for those people who perhaps have disconnect issues or wanted to get back into the championship. The ATCC direction obviously feeling that coming first in Server 2 was a greater feat than coming 18th perhaps in Server 1, and I for one can only agree with them. Still top of the table at the moment before qualifying is Swiderski on a 17.495. I would expect the BMWs to do very well here. The long fast corners really, really suit them. They have great handling and excellent drafting abilities as well down these straights, but also as well very, very easy, like I was saying, into the carousel and into the first couple of turns and the final turn as well. They're all very, very fast corners, and if you just go in a little bit too fast in the front wheel drive car, you'll understeer. Because you let off the gas, the back end will come around and you'll oversteer. So it's very, very difficult to get the balance right with the front wheel drive car. Of course, it's very easy to save those slides, but the BMW in the first place is very, very easy to get the car in and keep it stable in those fast corners. So I would expect it to have a little bit of advantage to here. The tyre wear won't be great because of the long straights and nature of the track. The tyres don't take as much of a drubbing as they normally do, which is where of course the BMW with its rear-wheel drive and its more even distribution of tyre wear can excel. First race is a rolling start as well, so they'll see their advantage negated a little bit there. The second start will be a standing start, so it's crucial to any BMW hopes as well to get away at the start, because they take a couple of laps to get the heat into the tyres and the pressure's correct as well, so it's all roundabouts. Barrett looks like he's on a fast lap at the moment, showing up green in the sectors, so is Francisco Villar just behind him. Flows through Bill Mitchell corner, now into the final turn. Again, very, very difficult to get a little bit oversteer there, you can see. Just flowing through there nicely though. Competition has been very, very fierce in the pre-servers. We are approaching the very end of practice now, 1 minute to go. Keith crosses the line of 17.6, just a tenth down on the fastest time so far by Darius Swiderski. So we're running through the field just before practice. Swiderski, Barrick, Boucher, Via, 5th Lasky, 6th NATO, 7th Nelson, 8th Hamilton. 9th place is Talborg, 10th Blaine, 11th Clean, 12th Mern, 13th Braham, 14th is Vincent Kahn, that's Season 2 champion, 15th Stefan Werner, 16th Adam Vaughan, 17th is Andrew Ricciardo, 18th is Tyler Scarlett, 19th Abdul Ahmed, round top 20 is Robert Isles, with Paul Wood, Alessio Lucchese and Daniel Wood in 23rd, with Michael Van Scheppingen yet to set a time. We are missing one driver at the moment, I do believe. Try and find out who that is for you. Might be Abdul Ahmed. No, Abdul Ahmed is in the field. I'm not quite sure who we're missing. I think it might be Nicholas Hamilton. No, he's in 8th place as well. I'm not sure who we're missing from the field just at the moment in time. You see there should be 25 drivers. There's 25 at the moment because one of those is the camera crew. Here we are now into qualifying. Again, it's super pole. So one hot lap, one out lap, one hot lap and one in lap. Drivers must complete their in laps. Part of the regulations. Go to the race monitor now then and take a look at a couple of these laps. Let's see who's going to go out first. Often Jesper Tarwood goes out first. Right, oh, Darius Swiderski decided to take his good form and keep it on a roll and go out first in the session. It's 15 minutes in this session, which is done because it's a slightly longer lap, over 2 minutes, and say 2 minutes 17. Looking for probably a high 2 minutes 16 benchmark. A little bit more grip in qualifying than in the practice. Also, they'll be probably carrying less fuel because they only got one lap of it. So it may be that they, with this long lap and the long straights where the tyres cool out, they may not get enough temperature in their tyres to be able to do a stunning lap. But I'd be very surprised if we didn't see at least 1:16 this session. Of course, this is the point where everybody is supposed to go and do 16s now, or nobody. It look like complete buffoon. Right on board with Swiderski now. As I say, he's in the BMW, which is very, very stable in those fast corners, and also out of these couple of, like for example here, down at turn 4. Oh no, turn 6. Sorry. Where he needs to get the power down, and through this corner as well. If they lift off the throttle here, through here in the rear-wheel drive cars, they will just go around nice and smoothly. There's no penalty as such in the rear-wheel drive car for letting off that throttle there. Getting the power down as quickly as possible. Now down into the kink, aptly named, and obviously named, the place where Catherine Legg had that humongous crash back in 2006 where her rear wing let go at 180 miles an hour. She smashed into the barriers there, up onto the netting as you can see on the left hand side, and completely demolished her car and walked away from the incident quite remarkably. Now we are going through Bilmit corner, up over the crest. Really got to get the corner right there, and the line perfect. Oh, Swiderski's pushing very, very hard, trying to get the perfect exit onto the straight. Let's ride on board with a slight better angle, shall we? There we go. Now down, up the Road America straight, and over the start-finish line he goes now. Time starting. Sector 1 is down just before the bridge, just before turn 4. First he has to negotiate turn 1. Fourth gear, in he goes. Nicely hits the curb on the inside there, but not too much. That looks like a very good line to me. Now down to this corner here, leaving the braking quite late, turning in quite late. Always a big slide on there, big understeer moment. They've lost lots of ground in that corner, probably 2 tenths and maybe another couple of tenths down this particular straight. Such a long straight it is as well. Topping out in 6th gear as you go down the hill, down Moraine Sweep. Now down into turn 3. Hard braking, down through the gears, 3, 4, 5 gears down. And in we go, up the hill now. Sector split is there. Of course, nobody has set a time just yet. He's the first to set a time. Through he goes at turn 4. Very, very difficult corner. I do find myself whenever I drive the track that corner catches me out the most. Turn 5 again, you have to get the line right if you want to take it through, take it flat out. Down the hill, braking hard, down to second gear, perhaps third, depending on the driver's gear ratios. Using all the tarmac, now into carousel, turn 7. Such a long corner, and it takes such patience to get this corner right, and then just get the power on as soon as you can to hit that apex there, straighten the corner out as much as possible. Flies now under the Suzuki bridge, into the kink, getting flat out, easily flat out in these touring cars. Now down kettle bottoms, second split is around about there. Heading now down towards Canada corner. You can take this corner in third gear. Looks a lot tighter than it actually is, but you can carry plenty of speed in, but you have to make sure you scrub it off all the way around because there's not much run out on the outside. Now through Thunder Valley, up into Bill Mitchell corner, over the crest. Over the crest we go again. Just touches the outside curb there, excellent stuff there. Now gets the car slowed down and turned in, but misses the apex, but he seems to carry plenty of speed, so it doesn't seem too bad. Maybe a couple of mistakes on that lap from Darius Swiderski. Let's see how he does as he goes up Roadmaker Straight, the big hill there as the cars pull all the way up, and it's a 2:17.695. I would expect that to be beaten. He'll be a little bit disappointed with a couple of the corners there, but it's a good solid lap nonetheless, and it leaves him in good stead for the race. Stefan Werner there has popped up in second place with 2:18.2. Eric Nelson now 2:18.0 in the Synaptic Racing Honda. Synaptic Racing Peugeot 407, should I say, as you can see. Skins done by Marcel van der Aar for this team. Let's try and go on board with somebody else now and see who else is out there. Matty's clean for Bonaccord, just set at 2:18.346. So actually Darius Swiderski's 2:17.695 isn't looking too bad a lap. Obviously people find it difficult to get a really fast lap in with their first flying lap. Tarbog at 2:18.0. VR 2:17.933. Looks like the 2:16s are not going to be coming here. Salboshar with a 17.833 for DHR Simcraft. Let's go on board with Keith Barrick now, as he heads down into turn 6. Around he goes. Excellent hitting of the apex there. Into carousel. Around carousel he goes, keeping it. Just let it lift out wide slightly, then get straight back in again. The power on as soon as you can for that apex there. Heading through, out now into the kink. Flat out through the kink. Sector 2 split is coming up. How will he compare? And he's up by 0.491. This looks like a fantastic lap from Keith Barrick. Heading for pole position, it seems, into the Canada corner. Through he goes, carries plenty of speed, it seems. A little bit slow perhaps on the exit, but it seemed pretty smooth. And now we go up over Bill Mitchell corner. Much tighter line than many others were doing there, and that's excellent driving there from Keith. Now to get it into this tricky corner at the end of the lap. Nico Neto has popped up with a 2:17.78. He is the RDTCC Season 5 champion. But now here comes Keith Barrick. Over the line he is about to come, and a 2:17.223 beats Swiderski by almost half a second. He'll be very pleased with that lap indeed. But it does look like that 2:16 that I predicted is not going to come, typically. Let's go on board now with Michael Van Scheppingen, driving for Flying Dutchman Racing this season, FDR. He comes out of turn 2, heading down the straight now. Under the bridge. Down the hill he comes. Standings at the moment are Barrick, Swiderski, Nato, Boucher, Brehan, Villa, Tarborg and Nelson. Remember, they only get one lap, so those laps are their final laps. Right at the top 10 is Werner and Klein. Stefan Werner driving for TDR, Track Double Racing this season. Scheppingen is 1 second down. Not a good opening sector from Michael. You won't be pleased with that. But now Adam Vaughan pops up in 9th. Vincent Khan in 10th. Vincent Khan, the Season 2 champion, reigning defending champion. He won't be particularly happy with that lap. Driving for DHR Simcraft this season alongside Keith Barrick. So we've got Season 1 and Season 2 champion in the same team. Alongside them is Sal Boucher, who's in 3rd place on the standings at the moment. 4th place in standings even, sorry. Sorry, Sol. And Armage just popped into 15th place. Michael Van Scheppinghen's had a better second sector, losing just 4/10 of the lead there. But he's lost that whole 1.1 seconds in the first sector. Misses the apex there a little bit. Now heads up over Bill Mitchell corner. Nice tight line. Gets the car slowed down for the final turn, turn 11. There are officially 14 turns at this track actually, but for simplicity's sake we'll keep it at 11 because some of the corners are pretty imperceptible. And now Michael Van Scheppinghen, where's this going to put him? Likely going to be around at 15th, 16th place. Put him in 20th, a 219.1. Michael will not be particularly happy with that. So just Kane Lasky, Nicholas Hamilton and Andre Ricciardo to post laps now. Let's go on board with Kane now. He's coming towards the end of his lap. Showing very good form in the pre-season races, Kane. He's in the Bonaccord Peugeot 407. As you can see there, now he comes up the hill, rising over the little crest there. He's going to come over the line now. Sweeps over the line. 4th place for Kane Lasky. Qualifies in 4th at the moment. It's a good lap there from Kane Lasky. He'll be happy with that position. Keeps in a strong position for the race. Now let's go on board Nicholas Hamilton and Paul Wood. Nicholas Hamilton is the last one to set a lap. Dan Asprey put it up there in 8th place, an excellent lap for him. And Ricciardo in 16th, so he'll be fairly happy with that. Nicholas will be aiming for at least the top 10 here, I think. He flies up the hill now. Goes over the line. Looks like it's going to be an 18.131. 13th place for Nicholas Hamilton. It seems that it's very, very close once again between 4th and 15th. Just half a second. It's like 1/10 there has cost Nicholas Hamilton 3 places. So he'll be looking to move on up in the races. The Seat, of course, struggles a little bit on this track with its hatchback shape, creating a lot more drag than the smoother, for example, BMW or the saloon cars of the Honda and the Chevrolet. Adam Vaughan this season, again driving for Synaptic Racing, a member of OR, but driving for Synaptic Racing this season in the Synaptic Racing Honda. So, the end of qualifying, there's still 3 minutes to go, but everybody has set their lap. Let's check the standings. On pole position, Keith Barrick with a 2:17.223. Second place is Swiderski with a 6:95. Miguel Neto, top pre-qualifier, remember, on corrected order, in 3rd place on the 2nd row. Alongside him is Kane Lasky with a 17.83. Sal Boucher with a 17.833. Yuri Braham with an 8.67. Look how close that is there. If Braham just found an extra 10th, he would have been in 3rd, not 6th. Francisco Villar in 7th place, looking to make a strike with his BMW from there, alongside his fellow BMW driver Darius Swiderski. Dan Asprey rounds out the top 8 with a 17.939. 9th place, Jesper Tarborg. He won't be particularly happy with that lap, although he generally moves up in the races with an 18.001. Eric Nelson in 10th. Vaughan in 11th. Khan, the reigning champion, in 12th place. Just shows the level of competition here. The reigning champion down in 12th for this qualifying session here. 13th, Nicholas Hamilton. 14th, Stefan Werner. 15th, Matthias Klein. 16th is Tyler Skurlock. in the Synaptic Racing Seat Toledo. As we move down the order, 17th is Andre Cardo. Second is Alessio Lucchese, 23rd is Michael Van Scheppingen, in 24th place is Daniel Wood, and just behind him is his brother and fellow Terra Australis Racing driver Paul Wood in 25th place. We're about to head now into the warm-up, and we'll run you through the grid once again in a more clear in the grid format. As I say, the races will be 11 laps. Shouldn't sound very much, but at a 6.515 kilometre track, right for yourself, that's a pretty long race. We're just ticking down, there's 50 seconds left in qualifying. Guys are just taking channels, take you through some of the skins here. Matt is clean in the Bonaccord Ultimate Honda Accord. The 218.346. Skill, like as I was saying, in the Synaptic Racing Toledo. Andre Cardo in the the Volvo S60. And Reggie Blaine again in the Bonaccord Ultimate Honda. Abdul Ahmed in the Peugeot 407 this season in the Gulf BFR colours this season. Very nice they are too. Matthias Mern in the slow racing, and they're not slow racing because they're slow drivers. They're slow racing because they're from Slovenia. In the 407, Robert Alves, as you can see, Terra Australis, racing. Say it, Leon. Apparently there's a small grid bug even, according to Mr. Keith Berwick. So they're just doing a bit of a sorting of the order right now. Not quite sure what that bug particularly is. I'm sure it will be sorted pretty easily. Voting round to practice now. We started the weekend. They'll be voting around. Some guys just leaving the room. Let's try and find out what the deal is here. Let's go down to the chat room and have a look. No one can go on track for now. Some people have left. Quite sure what the deal is there. On track, so they're sorting out the grid bug at the moment. I'm not sure what this grid bug is. So, well, they'll be being held up there. I'll entertain you with more stories of crashes at this particular track. Cristiano D'Amato in 2006 went into turn 6, which is I was referring to as turn 4. He was under the bridge just at the end of sector 1 when a deer ran in front of his IndyCar. It hit him and it knocked him unconscious. Fortunately, eventually he was okay, but he had to be taken to hospital to get a removal of a subdural hematoma. So it was a very serious injury indeed. That was just 1 month before the amazing crash off Catherine Legg, which I encourage anybody to go and have a look at on YouTube if you can. Try and take you through the order eventually. Let's find out what's happening at the moment. Looks like there's a bit of a problem for the server at the moment with the grid bug, which is very unfortunate because this was shaping up to be a very, very good race indeed. Hopefully we can get this sorted quickly. And let's see some action on the track. There's always something in sim racing. Again, we'll take you through some of the skins here. Well, that's not Jesper Tarbog. In fact, it is Jesper Tarbog, but he's hidden behind Miguel Neto's Volvo S60 for Art Racing, Auto Racing team. Now, it seems very many people are all stuck together. This may be the problem they're on about. Or contributory factor anyway. 24th. I think it was 24th, wasn't he? Get Daniel. Terra Australis Racing Peugeot 407. This is Casey just in the ATCC skin, as you can see. Skins done for all drivers who are not able to run their own skins, done by Marcel van der Aar for each car of the same theme. This series is sponsored by Pit Stop Furniture, who sell some very interesting office equipment. For example, office chairs that look like racing seats, with some very, very good accessories with those as well. They'll be available soon from simracegear.com. Also sponsoring this season is cockpitfm.net. They do regular podcasts on the sim racing scene. Be sure to check out them if you go to cockpitfm.net. They've got two, in fact, podcasts. They have the sim racing podcast and also the Formula 1 podcast as well, the F1 cast. So be sure to check them out. They've had a couple of big guns on there lately. For example, some Codemasters and some people from Simbin have been on. So be sure to check those out as well. This series is supported by the race department forums. This is how this series came about in the first place. So it's supported by race department. Be sure to head over to the forums there, to the American Touring Car Championship. The race department supports many series, including its own official series, of course, among which at the moment happening are the race department GTC League, which GT Championship, which is using the NAGTC mod at the moment for mod for R Factor. Currently duking out in that particular series is Florian Strauss and Gregory de Grief. Also at the moment is the Formula Pro World Series, which is just coming to a conclusion very soon, which is using the FS1 mod. Also happening pretty soon is the next round of the RD LMS series, the Mons series, which will be taking place very soon. And early next year, starting up again, will be the World Touring Masters. So be sure to check out Race Department for many of those leagues, and also the club racing they hold there, which is excellent. But plenty of friendly racing for them all. Let's now get an update from Mr. Keith Barrick on the situation with the server.
Hello there, Ryan. I just want to apologize to everyone watching. We've run into an issue with the current game server that is providing us the two servers for server 1 and 2. We've run into a problem where certain people on the grid are not getting scored, their times aren't showing, and just a couple of little glitches that would basically result in DNFs for a number of drivers in both servers. Mm-hmm. So what we are doing at this point in time, we're reverting to race department has offered up two servers for us to run the first race till we can sort this out. So what we're doing is we're quickly switching over to the RD servers. Server 1 on the broadcast will be the exact same qualifying positions as what you did just see. We've taken a screenshot of it. We'll just sort that out on the warm-up lap. You just won't have the fancy overhead view for the viewers. And then the server 2 guys are also switching over, but they will have to requalify because they don't have the warm-up lap. So just want to apologize to all the guys, and sorry for putting Ryan in a spot with a lot of dead air time. But we're sorting it out, and it's the nature of virtual racing, and it'll be sorted out for race 2. So stay tuned. No more than 10 minutes we'll be on the track racing, and you can see us battle it out.
Okay, thank you, Keith.
All right, thanks, Ryan. If you need me, just you know how to get a hold of me.
Keith Barrett, they're just filling us in on the situation. Oh, excuse me, TeamSpeak. Problems of my own up here. They're going to join the server, and once everyone's joined, go straight to the race. Once in the race and on the warm-up lap, they're going to change the positions of the drivers around so that they match the qualifying times. So on pole position again will be Keith Barrick. In second place will be Darius Swiderski. In third will be Miguel Nato. In fourth will be Sal Bochet, sorry. In fourth will be Kane Lasky. In fifth will be Sal Bochet. In sixth, I actually cannot remember who was in sixth place. Remember, seventh was Francisco Villa. In eighth place was Dan Asbury, I believe. In ninth place was Jesper Tarborg. In 10th was Eric Nelson. So we'll get onto the footage as quickly as we can. Hopefully it won't be too long. This is the first race of the season. We have done 2 test races already, and none of these problems have occurred. So we apologise for not wiping these out earlier. Let's just go and try and see if we can find this particular server. While we're waiting, I'll just play the promo movie again for you. Let's do that. Okay, now that's out of the way. I'll try and join this new server. Just exit from this room and see if we can join the new server so we can get some racing underway and we can show you some racing. So that's what you're all here for. 1 second while I just search through and wait for the game to refresh so I can actually read the text at the moment. At this moment in time the text is completely unreadable. I haven't a clue what it says. Yeah, please refresh. This would be nice. I'm going to guess that this being the server, I actually cannot read what that says from my particular point of view. I'm going to hope this is the server. It's Road America at least. And it would appear to be the correct server because everybody is in here. All the right people at least. Just loading up now. Okay. Let's go to race monitor to see if anybody is actually driving around at the moment. See if we can find them. Don't think anybody will be. No. All sat tight in the pits, just waiting for things to be sorted out. And there you can see the full field, and a magnificent sight it is really as well. Look at those beautiful skins. All the way up and down the field. As we zoom in towards them. There's Salbo shares. 4th place Peugeot 407 for DHR Simcraft. Skins done for them by Paul Wood, who drives and does the skins as well for Terra Australis Racing. Very kind of him to do so. Show off a few more of the skins. Amigo Neto in a nice simple Portuguese flavoured Volvo S60. Vincent Khan also driving for DHR Simcraft in the Honda Accord with his nice natty yellow tint on the windows. Mattis Klein, who we've already seen, who's driving for Bonaccord Ultimate this season in the Honda Accord. Team owned by Willie Watt, Daniel Wood, driving with his brother for Terra Australis Racing. Keith Barrick, who was probably cruelly denied a second title last season by a grid bug at Cadwell during one of the final rounds, without which he would probably have been champion, but those are the breaks in racing in general. Never mind sim racing. Abdul Ahmed in his very, very nice gold colours, driving the Peugeot 407. There's Francisco Villa. 7th place he qualified, driving for ART. In his Peugeot 407, Peugeot 407. In his BMW 320 for Team Portugal. There's Michael van Scheppingen, driving for FDR Flying Dutchman Racing in his Peugeot 407. Now we seem to be having some progress. I'm now going to go to the race, I do believe. And once in the race, the formations that will start, and during the formation lap they will change into the correct order from qualifying in the original server. Hopefully there won't be too many lag issues. The race department server is based in Europe. A couple of people have gone out on warm-up. So it seems they're going to just get some warm-up underway so that they can find out what's been happening in that. So we're going to have 5 minutes of warm-up, then we'll form the grid in the formation lap from the quali results. So that's very clear indeed. So in 5 minutes time we'll be at the race now, so we are kind of back on schedule. People are streaming out of the pits, as we can see, streaming past my cockpit. Let's get rid of this particular 1 second, let me remember how to get rid of this. There we are, rid of the grid. It's completely irrelevant at the moment because nobody is in the correct order. So Dweski is second on the grid for this race. He's in very good position with that BMW. Even on the rolling start, they do get a slight advantage on the acceleration. The acceleration point is at the start-finish line. They must move it miles an hour. So just a few minutes to go before the start of the broadcast, or the race even, sorry. The broadcast has started many an hour ago. ATCC Season 3 will see us visit 8 tracks this season. 6 of those are American tracks. Let's go full screen, shall we? 6 of those are American tracks, with just 2 overseas, as it were, tracks this season. One at the Nürburgring, which is the second round of the championship. Nürburgring GP layout, not the Nordschleife. And then the final race of the series will be at Mount Panorama Raceway in Bathurst. So they go halfway around the world, or just across the Pacific, I suppose, to go to Australia for the final round of the series. Just 2.5 minutes to go in final qualifying, in the warm-up, sorry. People are now practicing their pit stops, as you can see. Shooting across the track, up the hill, getting it braked as soon as possible. Remember, the time is so tight here that losing just a couple of tenths, braking too late or too early for the pits, can be disastrous. Adam Vaughan weaving his tyres as he goes through the pits here. That's quite annoying. I think we'll go on board with somebody else, shall we? There we go. Now going through Kettle Bottoms with Nicholas Hamilton. This very claustrophobic shoot into the Canada corner. Getting some laps in. People practicing their pit stops, practicing they got their lines right for braking. Obviously brake too late and you get a speeding penalty, and with the straight so long here and so fast, the amount of time you lose is just really not worth it. Pushing too hard, because if you don't push enough you lose half a second, and that could be a couple of places. Braking is helped here by the fact it is uphill, because you can't actually see exactly where the line is, so that could also catch a few people out as well. Stopping on the marks is also crucial. Just that tenth or two in the pits can be the difference between losing or catching the draft, in fact. Remember here, drafting will be quite a big deal with the time so close. It could be that drafting will come into play, and it will be whoever gets away from the pack. Say a group of 3 or 4 drivers get away from the pack. There's Nicholas just stopping now, practicing his pits, as you can see. This is stopped on the marks easily. But 3 or 4 drivers get close together, the fast drivers, and they stick close together and don't battle with each other. They will pull away from the pack because the draft will just ease them away 2 or 3 tenths every lap. With the competition so close, it's very, very difficult for people to make that up just on the track. I'll just run through a quick bit of times here before the race. 20 seconds to go we have. Vincent Khan, Boucher, Werner and Swiderski, and clean of all set times. So obviously they're trying to get back in the rhythm of racing after this disruption. Richard Blaine as well has set a lap time. Stefan Werner, here we go now. 3, 2, 1, 0. Warm-up is now ended. In 20 seconds we will be at the race. A couple of minutes prep for the race, and then we are on to the formation lap where they will sort out the positions. For those of you just joining us, we have had a couple of problems with the server. The qualifying times have been recorded, but they've had to move to a different server, which means they will have to manually sort the field in order on the formation lap. So that could take a couple of minutes and may see a couple of shenanigans, but that is the deal at the moment. This is the the way that the direction has gone with. So hopefully we can. We'll just jump on the track and go back out again. Race and then escape to the garage. Okay. So you see, remember these standings at the moment are not the official standings. The order will have to be changed around. As we say, in first place was Keith Barrack, second Swiderski, third was Miguel Neto, and fourth was Kane Lasky, in fifth was Saul Boucher. Still can't remember who was in sixth place. It's going to escape me for a couple of minutes. In seventh place was Francisco Villa, eighth was Dan Asbury, I do believe. Again, showing the pace of the BMWs, 3 BMWs in the top 8. There only been 3 BMWs on the track, so that shows the pace the BMWs have around this particular circuit. So the grid drivers are joining the grid now, just waiting on a couple to join. You can see the grid forming up. We'll get underway. So what will happen here is they'll be directed to go into their particular positions. I think Yuri Braham actually was in 6th place, wasn't he? Sorry, Yuri. How did you forget about that? And these FDR Honda Accord, Flying Dutchman Racing, raced alongside Michael Ben Sheppingham this season. So drivers are going past. Let's twizzle around so we can see exactly what's happening. There's Keith just up ahead there, driving into first place. Second now should come Darius Swiderski. Wherever he is. Where is he? There is Darius making his way towards the front of the grid, into second place at least anyway. There he is now lining up. Miguel Neto is also on his way. And Kane Lasky, not Sal Boucher, sorry. Kane Lasky should be just up ahead of him. Where's Miguel Neto? Let's find Miguel, shall we? It's all very exciting. This, look at this, like a jigsaw. Trying to sort people into their correct places. There's Miguel Neto, he has lined up. There is Kane Lasky, sorry. There's Sal Boucher just alongside him. There comes Yuri Braham just pulling in alongside. It's very exciting indeed. I think Yuri is trying to try and get as close as possible to no, not quite. Yuri is the creator of this particular ATCC mod. For those not familiar with the ATCC series, the championship uses modified versions of the S2000 touring cars from Simbin's Race On to make for a more even spreaders field. And as you can see, that has paid off. So first is a 407, then a BMW 320, then a Volvo S60, and another Peugeot, and another Peugeot. But the Honda Accord, and it'll be another BMW there, and another Honda Accord again as well. So you've got 4 different makes there in the top. That's the top 10, isn't it? Spin it around now. Oh. A couple of people have gone back to the pits. Obviously whatever they were trying wasn't working. Hopefully we can get this sorted out pretty soon. Becoming quite a drag. Let's find out what's happening in the chat, if there's anything for us to see. Got all these votes. Message there from Keith. Oh, the things that can go wrong. Apparently 2 guys, the game DNF'd them because they turned their engines off. Never actually heard of that before, but if you turn your engine off while you're waiting on the grid, after a few seconds, the game will throw you into the pits. So, oh, I need to vote, I think, as well. I have to vote, there we go. Here come the votes, just need 2 more votes to get the game voted around. In fact, I may be able to do it for them, I think. Let me just connect to the server. Okay, we're now back into the race session. Hopefully we can get underway. Fix that for the crew there. So, race take 3. Let's see if we can actually get somewhere this time. Go to the race monitor. People are forming up on the grid now. There we go. It appears not many people are actually in the pit still. Hopefully. Let's go to full screen, shall we? That's better. Okay, start take 3. What's going to happen here again as well is they're going to move forward and they're going to get themselves into qualifying order. Obviously not what the race direction was hoping for when it all seemed to be going swimmingly well, and then suddenly it's all going wrong at the moment. Hopefully with a bit of common sense people can get themselves underway. Why people are in the pits I'm not quite sure. It's quite frustrating now. Everyone join the grid, shall we? That's it, everyone's joined the grid now, I think. Go back to the race monitor. Full screen. Okay. Let's try and get some racing going here, shall we? We're going to move into position now. Everyone's still in at the field, so that's a plus. Keith Barrick has now moved towards the top of the field as he qualified. Remember, he qualified in pole position. Seems like days ago when that happened. Now Miguel Nato is moving forward towards his 3rd place on the grid. Rotate it around. Let's watch everybody else form up, shall we? Let's go on board with him. Nice snazzy view. There we go. He's put into 3rd place. In 4th place there is Kane Lasky. In 5th place will come Sal Boucher. In the DHR Simcraft Peugeot 407. In 6th place there is Yuri Braham. 7th is Francisco Villar. 8th will now come Dan Asbury, I do believe, yeah. Let's go on board with him, shall we? So we can get a bit closer look at the rest of the field coming in. 9th there is Jesper Talborg. Excuse me. In 10th place there is Eric Nelson, his teammate. 11th place should come. Yeah, it is Matthias Mann, I think, in 11th place, isn't it? No, it's Adam Vaughan, sorry. Now, Matthias Mann was quite a bit further way back. In 12th, if I recall correctly, was Tyler Skurlock. But you can see, actually, look, these Synaptic Racing team, I didn't pick up before. The 9th, 10th and 11th on the grid. So a very purpley, greeny flavour to the middle of the grid there. In 12th place is Vincent Kahn. He's pulling up now behind Eric Nelson. Hopefully he'll move forward. There we go. In 13th now comes Stefan Werner. He needs to pull in to... Oh no. 13th place already is Nicholas Hamilton. 14th place is Stefan Werner. 15th place must be Matthias Klein, yes. In 16th place it looks like... Oh, sorry. That's Tyler Skurlock. In another Synaptic Racing. We've got two teams this season. Synaptic Racing Bravo and Synaptic Racing Alpha. Tell them apart by the Bravo have the slightly more greeny colours on them. The Alpha have bluey alpha colours on them. And the 17th place there looks like it is Andre Callado. Yes. Yep. Rachel Blaine there in 18th. 19th Abdul Ahmed. 20th is Robert Isles. 21st is Matthias Mern. Who's just pulling it behind, trying to find room to do so. 22nd is 21st is Robert Isles. 22nd should be Michael van Scheppingen, yes. 23rd should be Alessio Lucchese, if I remember correctly. And Alessio Lucchese has on back to the pits. Oh no, Michael van Scheppingen just getting himself into position there. 24 have now formed up, but Alessio Lucchese seems to have gone back to the pit lane. So I don't know what they're going to do about him. Maybe he doesn't want to race, maybe he's finding it getting a bit too late in the night for him. Of course, we were supposed to kick off about 20 minutes ago. So there's the grid formed up now. And maybe they just have to leave Alessio Lucchese to his fate, and indeed they are. It's been too long now. Oh, is that Alessio Lucchese? I was sure that he was in a Seat Leon to begin with. He wasn't. I'm sure he was in Seat Leon, and he's now in a Chevrolet Lacetti. So obviously he's not racing. So the field of 24 drivers is moving off on the warm-up lap. Let's have a quick rundown of the order for you before the start of the race. Before the start of this 6.5 kilometre lap. Oh, sorry, we'll go back. Oh, I'm in. I apologise. That's me. That's the case. It is in his set line, but obviously he decided not to take part in the race or some other particular issue. Worst thing for you guys is you've had to spend an extra 25 minutes listening to my voice. I'm sure it is far too long for anybody to listen to my voice. Extra unnecessary stress on me. Now the field is streaming down towards turn 3. Going down Moraine Sweep. It's actually situated in Wisconsin, this track. In the Kettle Moraines, that's where we've got a section called the Kettle Downs and the section called Moraine Sweep, in reference to the local area. Field is sweeping through. As we say, we've got Barrick on pole position, Sudersky second, Nato third, Lasky fourth, Boucher fifth, sixth is Yuri Braham, seventh is Francisco Villa, in eighth place is Dan Asbury. For those who are just joining us, expecting to see race 2 perhaps now, we have had particular server issues and they've had to move to a different server and sort the grid manually, but hopefully we'll be underway pretty soon. We may not get the same updates from server 2 as we were hoping to get because of the different syncing issues. Although actually it took so long to sort the grid for this, they may actually have already re-qualified and done it all for server 2, so it may finish around at the same time anyway. People now travelling around at 100 kilometers an hour, 60 miles an hour. Sweeping around we go. Beautiful collage of skins in this particular championship. They fly now through here. This is not the greatest angle actually. It's such a lovely angle when there's no overlay in the way, but there is an overlay in the way and it's not the greatest angle. So that's... So now going down to Canada Corner, through Canada Corner, and the Bill Mitch Corner, this crest here under the bridge, which was rebuilt in 2006. I've lost pictures just for a second now. Let's hopefully we can actually get some pictures back, please. So I can see the start of the race, will be helpful. Please. There we are. Thank goodness for that. I actually didn't miss the start of the race. That would be disastrous after all this time. So Keith Barrett chooses the inside line up the Road America straight. There goes the field streaming up. They're all getting in line. There's no passing allowed until the start-finish straight. Leaders will accelerate at that start-finish line, but no passing before then. And now they stream towards it, slowly but surely. And race 1 is finally go, 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 go. ATCC Season 3 is now go. Down towards the first corner. Barrick holds the inside line. On the outside there is Swiderski. NATO is under attack now from Kane Lasky. And someone's coming down the inside and Kane Lasky is on flying off the track. And that seems like NATO was involved with him. Let's quickly go back to Kane Lasky. He's stuck in the gravel. And it would seem Saul Boucher is involved as well. He seems to have dropped towards the back of the grid. There is Saul. I think that's Saul anyway, yes. It must be Saul because obviously Keith is at the front of the field. Daniel Wood just behind him and Kane Lasky. Straight off at the first corner. NATO seems to be involved as well. He's down to 19th. So 3 of the top contenders immediately out of the race. Let's flip back towards the leaders. And Swiderski's got past Barrick. He must have got past him down into turn 3. Got him under the brakes. All action here on the opening race. On the opening lap. Behind him there is Braham. 4th is VR. In 5th place is Talborg. Excellent start from him. Another excellent start as well for Vincent Kahn. Up to 6th place. He's gained 6 places already on the opening lap. Half around the opening lap. And the battle for the lead is on. Swiderski is being harried and hassled by Keith Barrick. Come flying down now towards the king, out of the carousel. And Keith is pushing. He's looking for a way past. He's looking aggressive. Let's go on board with him now. And he's looking down the inside, but Swiderski brakes late. Barrett thinks better of it. It's quite a fast corner that really can carry lots and lots of speed in and scrub it off all the way around the corner. So it's very, very difficult to actually make a pass into there, but Keith is keeping well in control. Keeping that BMW ahead just in his sight. Push comes to shove and the front wheel drive car again will also be better off because it's easy to save a slide in the front wheel drive car than it is a rear wheel drive car. You can see the difference in the two cars around that corner. The rear wheel drive car finds it much easier to get around that corner than the front wheel drive car. The front wheel drive car just wants to oversteer and the back end step out. Vincent Kahn, Eric Nelson in a bit of a battle as well. Let's check further down the field. Reggie Blaine and Tyler Skurlock seem to be locked in battle. There is Tyler in his Seat Toledo. In front of him is Reggie Blaine flying through turn 1, down now towards turn 2. Getting a little bit of wiggle on the grass there. Behind the Bonacord Ultimate of Reggie Blaine, flying through and wide has gone Andre Cayado. He must have made a great start as well, up to 9th place he had been. And now Reggie Blaine has... Oh, and somebody's spanning the back there. Looks like one of the... Looks like Robert Isles. Let's go back and try and find who that is. It's Paul Wood spinning at turn 2. So way back down the field now. Dan Asbury is in the pits. I'm not sure what happened there, but Adam Vaughan is back 21st as well. What is going on at the start of this American Tour Car Championship, round 1? Let's check back with the leaders. And we've missed it again. I've missed the pass for the lead again. Keith Barrick has got past Darius Swiderski around about the same area of the track as Swiderski passed him on race 1. So please people stop crashing because we keep missing the lead change. And now Keith seems to have a little bit of a gap on Swiderski as he goes around the carousel. Swiderski won't be happy about losing the lead. Not sure what will have happened in that particular thing. No replay function on race. So there is Keith Barrick now. There is Francisco Villa. He looks like he's got a bit of damage to the back of his particular BMW. Yes, indeed he has. So he's taken a bit of a knock perhaps on those incidents at turn 1 and turn 2 on the opening lap. Just ahead of him is Yuri Braham. He was being very strong in pre-practice. Behind him, Jesper Tag on 5th. There's Khan with Nelson stalking in behind. Matt is clean in 8th. 9th is Reggie Blaine, I think, now. Yeah, with Andrew Cayado just behind. We saw them battling earlier. Matthias Mern. Miguel Neto has moved back up to 12th place already. Let's follow on board with him as he goes up the hill. Looking back at Tyler Skurlock, who he must have just passed because Tyler was battling with others before that. Keith Barrick just set the fastest lap. Tyler's got a nice draft here as he heads up straight. Oh, Neto just takes a late move up the inside, a little bit sneaky there, a little bit hard, but nothing completely unfair. And moves back across again as well. And Abdul's gone up the inside of Hamilton for 14th place. Has Abdul made that pass stick? Let's go back and look at that now. And they are in turn 2. And Abdul has got past Hamilton for 14th place. Not sure up on the leaderboards just as yet. There we go. Abdul has now moved ahead on leaderboards as well. Nathan's got a much better run out of there than Tyler has, and he must be attacking now back of Andre Cayado. Matthias Mern even, sorry. And, oh, very, very deep under the brakes, and Nato is into the back of Matthias Mern. Matthias Mern saves it, but he's lost 2 places as a result of that. And Nato being very aggressive here. I don't know what happened on the opening lap, but he seems to be involved as well, so obviously very fired up for this particular race. Remember, he was the fastest pre-qualifier at Watkins Glen. They come flying through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, just like that. Reggie 9, 10, 11, 12. Andrew Cardo concedes to Miguel Neto. They're both Portuguese, so maybe a bit of teammate nationality kindness there to one another. Now Andrew Cardo is under big attack now from Tyler Skurlock as they come flying out of Carousel. Carousel leads onto this back straight into the kink and then to Kettle Downs. There's Matthias Mern, who's lost those places as a result of the contact from Miguel Neto. Neto made a very, very late move. It didn't seem to be on. Definitely will be under investigation from the stewards for that particular incident. And here comes Matthias Mern looking for himself down the inside of Tyler Skurlock. Tyler's gone slightly wide. There's a little bit of battling back here. Hamilton on Matthias Mern. Hamilton straight off. What on earth happened there? Nicholas Hamilton puts a little wheel on the grass, slides across the grass, manages to save it without a bit too much damage, but that was a curious incident really. Abdul Ahmed was battling with him before, and Abdul's into the pits. Early stop then, on lap 4, racing lap 4 at least. Now, look at the grounds that Sal Bercher made on Abdul into there. Much, much braver on the brakes. It made up at least a couple of seconds. So into the pits comes Abdul. Into the pits also as well has come Miguel Neto. Always looking for a bit of clean air. And up ahead there is Francisco Villa in the pits. So the 2 art cars obviously looking to get a bit of clear air and put some laps in by themselves to move themselves up through the field. Adam Vaughan also into the pits. He's had a horrendous opening couple of laps. Not sure what's happened to him. Meanwhile, in the lead of the race is still Keith Barrick, with Darius Swiderski 1.4 seconds behind. In control of the race is Keith. He's gone slightly wide there, but Darius also slides as well, so status quo really. Really quite spaced out actually at the front of the field. Yuri Braham heading down the hill into Hampton Downs through turn 6. And there is Eric Nelson in 6th place. He'll be happy with that. Vincent Khan in 5th as well. He'll be very happy with that as well. Having started 12th, We're at 7 spots already. Of course, VR has pitted, so Khan is actually in a net 6th place. Let's find some more battles back through the field. Those pit stops seem to have broken up the fighting a little bit. But here we are now with Andrew Carto and in behind. Again, just for a second here. We'll get back to the action as soon as we can. Apologies for the technical hitch there. I cannot see what's going on at the moment, but I'm sure you're enjoying it. And here we are now with Andre Callado. So that looks like one of the TAR guys just behind him. So either he's made a mistake, he must have made a mistake somewhere, because I'm sure that Bob Isles was quite a way behind him before that. But into the pits has come Darius Swiderski. Into the pits also as well, as you can see there is Yuri Braham, and it would seem that and Francisco VR is coming down the straight now. He's gained, I think, a little bit of ground on Yuri and Darius ahead. Not too much. It seems to be quite status quo that. Maybe Yuri gained a couple of tenths on Darius in the pits. Now VR will already be up to speed, but it shouldn't be too difficult for them to get back up to speed. In second place is Jesper Tarberg. Again, just grinding down. Third now is Vincent Kahn, but obviously he's in net 6th with 3 of the guys in front of him pitting already. Most of the field have pitted, in fact. It's just Talbot, Kahn, Clean, Callado, Isles, and maybe a couple of others which need to pit still. I think everybody's pitted aside from that, so we're onto lap 6 now. Lap 5 of actual racing. Emmett Nelson getting very, very screwily under braking there. I think he's pitted and fitted new tyres. Of course, he may be finding that the rear tyres being slightly more worn than the front. Well, definitely more worn than the front. Not nothing slight about it. More worn than the fronts. Maybe making his car quite unwieldy to drive and quite oversteery. In the background there, we can see that Reggie Blaine and Tyler Skolnick have renewed rivalries for that net. I think it will be, for 8th place overall, I do believe, once people have pitted. Just being behind, you can see the fighting back Sal Boucher being pursued by Abdul Ahmed. Very sideways there goes Reggie. Through they come now into the kink. And here we are now with Francisco Villa. He has made quite a lot of ground on Yuri Braham, that he seems to have lost a little bit in that corner just as I say that. So I think people will be pitting now as well. Into the pits has come Andre Callado and also Matthias Klein. There he is. Vincent Kahn also. And Jesper Tarborg and Keith Barrick. Keith is coming out of the pits now. What will be his lead over Darius Swiderski? There comes Swiderski down the straight now. You can just see in the background there. Obviously he's going much, much, much faster. And Francisco Villar sets the fastest lap of the race. So I was right, he was gaining. And look up the inside, has a look of Darius Swiderski. So he's gained, I would say, quite a few tenths on Barrick there. But he'll have slightly fresher tyres now, Barrick, having pitted a couple of laps later. And through turn 2 they go. Being hotly pursued here by Swiderski. Swiderski's got a head of steam up. In behind, pulling along Yuri Braham and Francisco Villa, and in behind is Jesper Tarbo, just keeping a little bit watched and brief, not quite able to gain as much as he would like on the front guys here. On to lap 7 now we are. And Swiderski is looking threatening under the brakes. Barrick turning a little bit early there just to cover the inside. Just watching his mirrors a little bit. Through goes Barrick under the bridge into turn 4. Very difficult braking there. Round goes Barrick, followed by Swiderski. Barrick, Swiderski, Braham, Villa, Just 2 seconds covering the top 4, and VR's pushing very, very hard. Runs onto the grass, losing that time that he's been making up, perhaps. Now fuel will be going down, and people will be getting faster and faster. I expect the fastest lap of the race will become the next lap from one of these lead drivers as they push each other to the absolute max. Very professional racing from these guys as they fly through out of the carousel, under the bridge, into the kink. Now out onto Kettle Bottoms, down towards Canada Corner. We do have 2 Canadians in this field, Keith Barrick and Vincent Kahn. Of the 24 drivers. Just seem like this battle has settled down just for the moment. First through 5th. So we'll check through the rest of the field. 9th place is Reggie Blaine, being hotly pursued by Tyler Skurlock, it seems. Get back to him, thank you. I'll go on board with him now. There is Tyler in his Seat Toledo as we go through the Bill Mitchell corner, down into the last corner now, turn 11. Officially turn 14, but we'll call it turn 11. And then in behind is the fighting back Sal Buscher. Of course, the 8th position, which is currently being held by Matthias Klein. Sorry for being slow there. Matthias Klein is the pole position for race 1. So the top 8 is the very place to be. So obviously Sal and Miguel Neto are looking to pull themselves back up towards those positions so that they can get a good result in race 2. And where is Miguel Neto? Maybe Miguel Neto not even running anymore. He's back in 20th place. I'm not sure what's happened to him. There is Miguel Neto. What on earth has happened to him? He was moving forward through the field quite well. Must have had another crash, or maybe a drive-through later. Maybe pushing too hard into the pit. He has been very, very aggressive in this race so far. So maybe someone was aggressive back to him, or perhaps even he pushed too hard in the pits and got a drive-through penalty at some point. Up ahead there you can see Daniel Wood, Michael Van Scheppingen and Andre Chiardo fighting. Andre has just gone up in front of Michael Van Scheppingen. Michael Van Scheppingen rejoins after having gone back on the track, tries to defend the position, but through goes Daniel Wood. Up the inside is coming Miguel now, gives Michael a little bit of a bump. That wasn't too bad a move, but again, very aggressive there from Miguel. Back again as well is Werner, Hamilton and Asbury, a little bit looking for better results than 21st, 22nd, 24th, must say. Asbury especially qualifying in 8th place. Nicholas will look to move forward through the field. Obviously he had that incident earlier on. So now here we are with the leader. Pursued still by Darius Swiderski relentlessly. VR's being dropped a little bit from this particular bunch, and Tarborg seems to be gaining on the BMW of VR. Indeed he is. VR seems to have lost just maybe 7-8 tenths of a second on that particular lap. And Tarborg has kept the pace up and is gaining on the 4th place BMW as they head up the hill. In 6th is Vincent Kahn, who has lost a huge amount of touch with the front 5. There we are in 2nd place. Darius Swiderski sets the fastest lap of the race so far, 2:18.03. Like I said, I've accepted a fast lap on that particular lap. Swiderski's gained 4 tenths of a second, I believe, on Barrick on that particular lap. That's a fast lap, and Swiderski is right in behind. As they fight now through turn 2 onto the back straight. Let's ride on board with Keith Barrick, looking back at Swiderski. And not very far behind at all is Yuri Braham, looking for any particular opportunity these guys might offer them if one of them get involved in altercations. Because they start fighting each other, they'll slow each other up, and slowly but surely Braham and maybe VR will catch up, but VR seems to have dropped off the pace quite a bit. Lost half a second lap to the leader. Tarborg is still gaining on him, but it's 0.9 behind him now. And through they go, under the bridge. Round now into turn 5. Down Hampton Downs is called, and Darius is pushing very, very hard, runs onto the grass, loses a couple of tenths of a second. It won't have helped his cause at all. But still, there are 2 laps to go after this particular one. Temperature of the track is not particularly harsh, just at 30 degrees with the air at 20. See, Darius has lost a bit of ground there, so we'll leave this battle just for the time being. And we'll go back through the field and have a look at the fighting back of both Adam Vaughan, Sal Boucher and Kane Lasky. All front runners generally. They seem to have struggled this particular race through particular incidents, knocked off in the first lap. There's Matthias Mern being pursued by the Peugeot 407 of Kane Lasky. There is Kane in behind. Oh, and Kane gets a massive wiggle coming off the kink. As I say, it's flat out in these cars, and you shouldn't be making a mistake there unless you drop concentration. And he almost had a humongous accident there. Well saved from the Peugeot 407 driver. In behind there in 15th you can see is Robert Isles. And Ricardo's back in 16th. With Daniel Wood, Nato, Werner, Hamilton, Sheppingham. No, Sheppingham's just come ahead of Wood, so Sheppingham is ahead of Wood. With Armour back in 22nd now. Running very, very strongly early on, up in the 8th or 9th place. And now he's back in the field. Nicholas Hamilton also as well, 23rd place, and Dan Asbury has been lapped. So a horrendous race for Dan Asbury this time around. The only consolation he has is that he has the rear-wheel drive power off the line for race 1. Up the inside now is coming Matthias Mern on the Honda of, it must be Adam Vaughan, I think. It must surely be Adam Vaughan. Indeed it is. Attacking the Honda driver to go flying through. Adam looks like he's got a very oversteery car through there. Matthias Mern gets a very nice run off the corner. Seems to get a decent slipstream, but maybe not quite close enough to make a pass. He's ahead now, pulling 6th gear, heading down towards turn 3. Very, very hard braking, as we say. From 6th down to 2nd gear. Very, very easy to lock up the brakes, and Matthias is having a look, and Adam Vaughan just chops him off almost there. Not unfairly at all, just moving across there on the Slovenian driver by the Welsh driver. In front of him is Reggie Blaine, the Irish driver, so Blaine, Vaughan, Mern, Lasky, and now Lasky is gained right back up again on Mern. After that particular attack, this is what happens. You attack once and you get attacked from behind, and you cannot take your eyes off the ball for a second. It's very, very difficult to keep yourself moving forward because you're always under attack from somebody. Back at the front of the field, still Keith Barrack, and still Darius Swiderski is pursuing him. Around about half second behind. Miguel Neto's moved himself back up to 17th place. Francisco VR is still dropping back from this group, and Yuri Braham looks like he is settled in 3rd place, but the battle for the win still looks to be on. Now to go over the line, starting the last lap of the race. Barrett looks like he has this sewn up unless he makes a mistake somewhere, and it'll only take a small mistake with a lead just of less than a second, 0.8 as you can see. Francisco VR is under maximum pressure from Jesper Talborg. Can Jesper move himself up into the top 4 and get himself some extra points? Down the back straight they go. The fastest part of the circuit this is they go down the hill, down Moraine Street with a slight kink there as you can see to the left, and breaking downhill into turn 2. That makes it turn 3. Sorry, that makes it even more difficult, of course, as well. Never mind the hard braking, it's downhill, especially in that BMW, which is very, very easy to block the rear brakes, which will see you spin as you just go straight on in a front wheel drive car, which is not obviously ideal, but that's a lot better than spinning. And Jesper is piling on the pressure. Barrick is still in front of Swiderski by 0.5 of a second now. And VR is defending from Talborg. Talborg takes the optimal line into the corner. Now he's pressuring the back of that BMW. Portuguese driver desperate to stay ahead of the Danish driver. Talborg pressure on. VR makes a slight mistake in the middle of the corner there. Had to get back on the brakes. That's not ideal at all. They fly through, nose to tail, through into the kink. Down now, Kettle Bottoms, and VR is onto the grass. Talborg is looking for that overlap, and there is Talborg in the inside. Looking, he's got the overlap. Can he make it under the brakes? He can, and through he goes. Through goes Tarbo, takes 4th position on the final lap, but up front, it looks like Keith Barrick will be taking the win from Darius Widerski in the opening round of the ATCC Season 3. Through he comes, up the hill, now down over the starting places, and across the start-finish line, flashes his lights in delight. He's pleased at that. Keith Barrick takes the win from Darius Widerski. A very intense race it was as well. Separated by less than a second for the entire race. Through comes Yuri Braham in 3rd. 4th is Tarberg. 5th is VR. 6th, I think, will be Vincent Kahn. Yes, there he comes over the line. 7th is Eric Nelson. 8th, just over the line, taking that vital place from Tyler Skurlock, is Matthias Klein. Takes pole position for race 1. Tyler Skurlock now in 9th. Sal Bersher in 10th. 11th is Kane Lasky, 12th Adam Vaughan, 13th Matthias Mern, 14th Reggie Blaine, Robert Isles in 15th. Very, very close between 11th and 15th place there. Andre Caiado, Miguel Nato, Daniel Wood, Stefan Werner, Michael van Scheppingen. And as we scroll through the grid now, 21st place is Paul Wood. Across the line, 22nd place will come Abdul Ahmed. In 23rd place should come Nicholas Hamilton. There he is now coming out of Bill Mitchell corner into the final corner, turn 11. And around he comes up the hill now to take 23rd place. In 24th place will be Dan Asbury. A miserable race for him. Look at that, he's missing parts of his car. No, indeed, he's not actually missing parts of the car. The shadows tricks me there, evil shadows. Nicholas takes 23rd, and a lap down will come Dan Asbury in 24th after such a promising race, starting in 8th position. He has it all to do in race 2 as well. So congratulations to Keith Barrick, taking the win there, and of course the Champions League being the first race from Darius Widerski, and a very intense race it was. Disappointment there for Miguel Nato, and people like Adam Vaughan and Sal Boucher, who would have been expected to be a bit further up the field there, and it's very severely hampered their hopes for race 2, because they will start further down the grid, but pole position will be Matthias Klein with Nelson in behind for that particular grid. Just got news through from server 2. The race 1 podium there was won by race 1 was won by Reese Gardner. In 2nd place was Emil Salberg. In 3rd place was the Portuguese Pedro Amaral. So congratulations there to those 3 drivers for taking the positions in server 2. Congratulations as well to Reese. Big congratulations here to Keith Barrick. So now we go to race 2. No rest for the wicked. It's immediately into race 2. You've got 2 minutes to get yourself settled, prepared and ready for the start of the race. Get yourself back in the groove again of understanding where the grip, more grip and people around you, different people around you than obviously in the first race. On pole position will be Matthias Klein. Nobody's on the grid at the moment. There is the field lined up in the pits, just waiting and ready to go onto the grid. And there is Yuri Braham on the grid already. He came in 3rd place in race 1, so he will start in 6th place on the grid with the top 8 reverse, remember. Just like WTCC rules, it's a standing start this time around, so this will favour the 7th place starting of Darius Widerski, who will just line up to the right and just behind there of Yuri Braham. There he is, just appearing onto the grid now. Racing Fork Track Devil Racing this season. Team owned by Stefan Werner, who himself didn't have a great race, but his teammates Reese Gardner took the server 2 race win, and also Darius Widerski him second in this race, so a good round for him and his team. And 6th place there you can see was Vincent Carney. Now he's going to start 3rd in this grid. There is the 5th place Jesper Targov for this grid, having started 4th. And in front of him again will be Francisco Villar, so their particular rivalry will be remet. Francisco will also get the big benefit of the rear-wheel drive off the line. And here we are now getting ready for the race start. Revs are rising. And we're away. And Francisco Villar, to say, made a very, very good start, but Matt is clean. And pole position man just left it, just stalled it almost on the... Francisco Villar down towards the first corner, leads them down for the first time, and the BMWs are in front. Swiderski's come up from 7th, Francisco from 4th. In behind there is the Synaptic Racing Peugeot of Eric Nelson. Miguel Neto is not taken to the start for this particular race, so ignore that particular name at the top of the field there. Francisco Villar in 2nd, then Swiderski, Nelson, Khan, Tarbob, Braham, Klin. Where is Keith Barrick? He has gone back through the field, it seems. Keith is now up to 8th. Position is, well, up to 7th, sorry, should I say. And off the track has gone Darius Swiderski. What on earth happened to him there? It's not Darius Swiderski. Surely it was Darius Swiderski who went off the track there. I think he must have been, because he's now back in 7th. He was in 6th, sorry. He was in 2nd place. But Francisco Villar leads the field. Season 2 champion, reign champion Vincent Khan is now in 2nd place. And here is the field streaming down towards the corner here. Dan Asbury has left the track. Don't know what happened to him, but there is Keith Barrick in behind, and they're renewing their battle once again. Right in behind them is Klein, Boucher, Lasky and Vaughan. The terrible start there from Matthias Klein really bunched up all the field. It's all action over on this first lap. It comes streaming now down at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just like that. Down through into the King, down now into Kepler, down. People going onto the grass there, pushing as hard as they can, using as much track as they can without tripping off too much speed. And up in front, there is Darius Swiderski attacking the back of Yuri Braham for that 6th place. Yuri started in 6th, or 5th place, sorry, should I say. Yuri started in 6th, and he is now ahead of them anyway. Moved up 1 position here. Yapatagov started in 4th, he's now up to 5th. And it seems everybody moved up 1 space. Swiderski started in 7th, and is now into 6th. So everybody has moved up just 1 place. After all the shenanigans there of the start, it actually has shaked out that everybody's just moved up 1 place due to Matthias Klein's move back through the field. So it really was some crazy stuff there. Miguel Neto is interfering with the standings here. I wish he wasn't doing, because it's really annoying. Very difficult to find out exactly who's in what position, but please just add places there. And through goes Yuri Braham and Jesper Tarborg on Eric Nelson. He's made a mistake at turn 1 and straight through they go. That's all you need. 1 small mistake and 2 people, 2 places lost. That's all it needs. Through stream, go through the field. There is Neto back down the pack, and now the order seems to cleanse itself a little bit here. VR is still leading from Vincent Khan, who's under massive attack now from Jesper Tarborg. Go on board with Vincent Khan, looking back at the field. There is Jesper Tarborg and the rest of the field pursuing him, hotly pursuing him, wanting that 2nd place from him, wanting those points that go towards the championship. This championship sees 2 drop scores, so your best 14 race results will count towards the championship. Still, every race counts. If you can finish every single race, then you're going to drop better scores. Of course, it encourages going for the win as well. If you crash, you can afford to in a way, because it lets you take a few more risks. And Jesper Tarborg lost a little bit of ground there, and in behind is Yuri Braham pursuing him, taking that draft, and Jesper's a little bit late turning into that corner, and Yuri is right on his bumper. And the FDR car against the Synaptic Honda, both in Hondas. Francisco Villar has got a big lead at the start of this race. We thought he might be stronger at this particular tournament. In the background there, you can see that Swiderski's trying to make a move on Eric Nelson, trying to get ahead of Eric Nelson, get someone between him and Keith Barrett, because he knows how quick Keith can be. He doesn't want him all over the back of him. And now Jesper Tarborg pursued by Yuri Braham, who's got an excellent run out of that corner. No, not quite. Just takes a little bit too much speed in. Jesper's just holding enough speed up there. But it seems that he's got a slightly more pace. He took a slight draft up the hill, and he's pulling along slowly but surely. And he is going underneath him. On the inside he is. Where is Jesper? Jesper must be ahead. Yes, because Jesper is ahead because Yuri tucks back in. There is Vincent Kahn. He's under attack as well, and these three are really battling between themselves and letting Francisco VR just run away with the win at the moment. Let's see if he can keep his nose clean. He had a very solid run in the first race, dropped off a little bit towards the end of the race, but we know how fast he can be. Qualified in third place in pre-qualifying, so we know he's got a quick car. And that BMW looks after its tyres, and this is a monumental battle. They're going to go 3 wide. Thinking about it, not quite. And still nobody has swapped position, and nobody's been out off the track. It's a quite incredible battle between Kahn, Talbot, Braham, Nelson, Swiderski, Barrick. NATO is just in 8th place, just behind this group. And if they keep battling, NATO could see himself latch onto this group and move straight back through these guys. He's very, very quick, of course. And down Hampton Downs comes Vincent Kahn into turn 6. Around he goes now, going towards the carousel. There's VR disappearing into the distance. And here we are now around the carousel, slightly sideways there from Jesper Talbot. Smooth line there from Yuri Braham. Oh, maybe not the edge there. And through they go now. Shooting past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just like that. Into the King. Flying down now with Kettle Bottoms. Vincent Kahn didn't quite have the pace of the top 5 in the first race, so he could just be holding these guys up just ever so slightly. And indeed, it seems he is, and they all having a look at each other, all tucking back in. Jesper's stalking the back of Vincent Kahn. Braham stalking the back of Jesper Talborg. Nelson in behind is seems to keep him watching brief. There is Swiderski desperately trying to stay ahead of the Peugeot of Keith Barrick, and Jesper's looking for the inside. He's hungry to get past, searching for every opportunity, just keeping the pressure on. He's very, very good at doing that. And look at the line of cars just heading up the straight. This is a fantastic race, and Francisco VR sets the fastest lap so far. Talborg moves out of the slipstream. On the outside he is now. He's getting a little bit more help from Yuri as they draft along the straight. And can Talborg make it county, going around the outside? Oh, and Kahn gets a little tap from Braham, and Talborg takes the place. Braham helped Talborg take the place there. He gets a little tap to Kahn, which made him go sideways. Braham didn't take advantage of that little touch there. And through they go now, out of turn 2, heading down the hill. Can Talborg move away? I think he can, because now Vincent Kahn is in behind him, and Yuri Braham has lost a little bit of ground, but I'm sure that will be made up pretty soon. As they head down now to the hill, and it seems like Swiderski's is attacking Eric Nelson. Not quite under the brakes there, covering inside as well from Keith. Oh, it's inside. Swiderski tried to go, but Eric was slightly wide, and that slowed up Swiderski, which then slowed up Barrick, who had to get out from hitting the back of Swiderski. Talborg, Kahn, Braham, Nelson, Swiderski, Barrick, just in behind him, just shooting the shot there. You can see Miguel Neto, who is gaining on this group, who are really holding each other up. It's a very exciting battle here for second place, and Talborg is not moving away from Kahn at all. Kahn is hanging grimly onto the back of the Honda. You've got Honda there, second, third, and fourth. BMW in first place. And we've got a Peugeot, BMW, and Peugeot, the 3 makes who seem to be dominating this particular track. Through they go now. Show you the rest of the field while you're... Show you 9th to 16th place while you're watching this battle. As you can see how close these guys are. Heading now down towards Canada Corner. Vincent Kahn wants that position back. And Braham, like I said, has moved straight back up to the back of Vincent Kahn. Talborg seems to hold on to these guys now a little bit. Maybe he's a little bit uncertain after... when you've been following a guy for a little while, it often seems like it's much, much easier. Once you get ahead of that guy, you lose the guide. And often you can go a little bit slower until you get the rhythm back again. But Eric, Darius, and Keith, and Darius and Eric are into the pits. So they're boxing. They're pitting early once again on lap 5 out of 11. So they're looking for a bit of clear air. Obviously that gives clear air again to Barrick as well, because Barrick is able to carry on and get the clear air. He's got a bit of a gap now to Braham. Into turn 1 and turn 3 we go. And Braham is all over the back of Vincent Khan, almost touching the back of the Honda as it goes into turn 2 there. Wanting that position, hungry for that position, almost nicking up the inside. He might be able to get down the inside now because he's going to get a draft all the way down this hill. And he's hungry for that position. Which side are you going to choose though? Is Vincent Khan going to defend? He may defend and go down the hill. You can just drift slightly to the inside there. It looks like you're going to defend. And he is going to defend. Here we are now back with the battle. As they head down now through Kettlebod, through the kink. Again, still nose to tail. Particular VR is still leading the race by 6 seconds now from this battle. He's running away with it while they battle amongst themselves, and Vincent gets a little bit out of shape. Braham behind does as well. And Barrick has gained a little bit on this group, taking advantage of that bit of clear air, but of course he doesn't have fresh tyres, whereas Swiderski and Nelson will have fresh tyres. So hopefully they'll be looking to make a gain. And who will be boxing this time? Yeah, into the pits comes Vincent Khan, whereas Tarburg and Khan and Braham move on. Barrick is into the pits as well, as you can see. Oh no, but Barrick is not in the pits, sorry, VR is into the pits, indeed. So the leader is into the pits. Leader of the race now is Jesper Tarburg. Behind him is Yuri Braham by just 0.8 of a second. Can Yuri just close right up under the back of Tarburg so that when he exits the pits he can get ahead of Vincent Khan going into that vital turn 1? Of course the speed differentials coming out of the pits and coming down the straight is very, very big. So Braham will now be pushing like mad to try and latch onto the back of Tarburg, if not pass him, so that when he pits, probably the next lap, and comes out, he'll come out ahead of Vincent Khan. And Barrick has gained a couple of tenths on the back of this queue as well, so Barrick is staying out longer than he usually does. Stayed out for 1 lap longer than the usual for them. VR has rejoined in 6th place after his stop, with Nelson in 7th. Salbosher is in 8th. Sorry, in 9th even. And in behind him is Kane Lasker, with Nigo Nato in 11th. Nigo Nato must have pitted as well then. So take you back through the field. 13th place is Blaine. This is during the pit stops. Well, look at that battle there as we head back towards. Look at this. As they head down the hill, we are with Andrew Cardo. In front of him is Michael Van Sheppingham. Just behind him is Matthias Klein. I believe Klein has pitted and Andrea has not. But then in behind him as well is Abdul, it seems, and Matthias Mern. So this is a very hectic battle once again. It's not just for the front positions is a big battle, it's for the middle positions as well. Of course, every position is a points paying position, so you fight all the way to the flag. There's always a point to be proved and a point to be gained, or several points to be gained in some cases, of course. And Andre Carrado is being pursued hotly by Matthias Klein. Matthias, after blowing his start, not sure what happened to him there, almost like he just didn't see the lights. Or maybe he did stall the car, in fact. But maybe I don't think he stalled the car. It takes a little bit longer to restart it. He moved all the way back down to 9th place after the start. It was disastrous there for him after working so hard to fend off the Seat Toledo of Tyler Skurlock to take the pole position in race 1. He's obviously thrown it all away, so he'll be gutted about that. Now across the line comes Nicholas Hamilton, who is now taking the lead with Robert Isles in behind. Jesper Tarborg has pitted, so has Barrick, so has Braham. Out of the pits there is Keith. He rejoins just in behind, and there comes VR. He's going to take the lead in the race by a long, long way, I would imagine. He goes flying through, but this is the critical period. Keith has gained a lot in the pits there, and there comes Khan in behind. I think Khan's lost positions to Bray. Oh, he's flying down the inside. That's a desperate move there from Khan, and he's gone straight off the track. What on earth was he thinking? That was a desperate, desperate move, and into the gravel. It looks like his race might in fact even be over. Doesn't seem like he can get it started from there, and look at the dust cloud just rising up from his crash. Can he get it out of the gravel? I'm not sure what's happened. Perhaps his engine is dead. But that was a very ambitious move from there, and indeed he is. Vincent Khan, the reigning champion, is out of the race and out of the battle for second place in this race. So that's very unlucky there from Vincent. But here we are now with Darius Swiderski, and what's happened to him? Why is he a lap down? So Darius has run into troubles as well. Maybe he's had a pit stop speeding fine. We'll find out after the race. But that's very unfortunate. So two of that big battle for second place have disappeared. Swiderski and Khan seem to have self-destructed here. And Adam Vaughan as well has had a terrible race, back down in 18th place again. I would have thought he would move up a bit further than he did. In fact, he was moving up quite far, but then obviously moved back down the field again. And here we are now with Yuri Braham. Still, he's got ahead of Jesper Talborg. And Jesper Talborg himself is now being pursued by Keith Barrick. This is for a net second place, remember. In behind there is Eric Nelson, who's been dropped by this crew a little bit as they've gone through the pit. So Eric has lost positions to Barrick, but obviously he's gained the positions vacated by Swiderski and Khan, and up the inside comes Barrick, but not quite. It pulls out at the last minute. Talborg defended well there. There's Sal Bocher. There is the other Honda. We'll find out who it is, thank you. Of Tyler Skurlock. And in behind him is Miguel Nato. I'm not sure if Tyler Skurlock has to pit for this race, but Miguel has dropped back a little bit if so, because he was up to 7th place at one point and ahead of this group, so I would have thought he'd be up to about 6th by now, with the incidents happening to Swiderski and Vincent Khan. Hamilton is in the pits now, so he led a lap, but he's now into the pits. And up front, we have Yuri Braham in 2nd place, and Barrick has got past Jesper Talborg, and he's under a huge attack now from the Danish driver, who's looking for the inside here, but it's a very small gap, and he gives the back of the Peugeot a big tap into the corner, and in behind, looks like Eric Nelson is gaining on this as well. Francisco VR still has a huge lead, and this is letting Braham move away in 2nd place from the Honda and the Peugeot of Talborg and Keith. And Keith is late on the brakes. Talborg carries a bit more speed in, but loses a little bit of ground, obviously not wanting to hit the back of the vehicle there. They go through under the bridge. Braham's got away now from Barrick, so Barrick's going to have to push very, very hard over the next 3 laps to catch Braham, to take 2nd place perhaps in this race. Apologies for leaving the mouse cursor in the way. A very bad habit of mine, I know. So, now we can draw breath. First place is VR, who looks to be taking a dominant win away from Braham and Barrick. 4th is Talborg, 5th is Nelson, 6th is Boucher, 7th is Skurlock, 8th is Nato. Recap of the action so far. An incredible titanic scrap between Braham, Barrick, Talborg, Nelson, and Vincent Khan and Darius Swiderski in the opening laps before the pit stops was broken up a little bit. Now it's all settled down a little bit now as well. Vincent Khan has ended up in the gravel, is now out of the race. Swiderski's ended up a lap down. We're not sure what the reason was there for that particular loss of a lap. Now it looks like Barrick is moving away from Talborg. He's just struggled just a couple of tenths here and there for pace overall in this particular event. Could be that Honda engine is not quite as strong or quite as aerodynamically efficient as the Peugeots in front. But of course Braham's in 2nd place as well, so that makes that a complete fallacy. Shut up, Ryan. So, settle down. VR's first, Braham 2nd. In behind him is Barrick. In behind him is Tarbog, and now in behind him is Nelson, his Synaptic teammate. Although Nelson is driving for Synaptic Bravo this season, whereas Tarbog is in Synaptic Alpha. Maybe should be the other way around the way this race is going. In 6th place is Salbochet, who's done very well to fight back from those opening lap incidents in race 1, but obviously it's compromised his entire event, as it were. In 7th is Skurlock, 8th is NATO, who also had an incident in race 1, several I think in fact. So he would have been up further as well, and Nelson kept... moment as the race is coming towards its climax. There we have pictures back now. Still status quo, but Salbochet seems to be just moving on to the back of this little battle as well, looking for that position. Barrick is also gaining ever so slightly on the back of Braham, taking a few tenths of a second out of him on that particular lap. Looks like he has the pace to perhaps catch Braham, but can he pass? That's the difficulty. Will we have enough pace to pass him? As we are looking at the battle for 4th place here between Tarbog, Nelson and Boucher. Tarbog in a Honda, also in behind him is Nelson in a Peugeot, and in behind him is Boucher in a Peugeot, and up the inside has gone Nelson, and through he goes on the straight. Fantastic exit he must have got through there. Maybe Tarbog lets him go through. It looked like a little bit of flash of lights there from Tarbog to let him know to go through. Obviously recognises he's got faster pace. Maybe my eyes were deceiving me, but I'm sure that's what I saw. In behind now is Skurlock as well, as this battle is raging for 4th place between 3 of the Synaptic drivers. Up front is Francesco VR still looks to be taking a comfortable win, and Braham and Barrick are also look like they're going to be involved in a battle very, very soon. Barrick is just right in behind the Honda of Braham. Up the inside now is going Salbochet. Talbot's gone very, very wide. Can Boucher get up the inside for turn 4? Looks like he's not got quite enough of an overlap, but he's going to try and make it happen. Or just snots before the corner. I think I was trying to say sneak and sloth at the same time there. Trying not to say snot live on air, Ryan. Not going to get Jonathan Ledger's job that way. He seems to have settled back down a little bit now. Let's check back up on the battle for 2nd place, which is now heating up very, very nicely indeed. This is the penultimate lap. Keith Barrick is hounding the back of the Honda of Yuri Braham. It's FDR versus DHR for this 2nd place, and Barrick looks very, very hungry indeed, flying through that corner there. Is he going to have a go into Canada corner? This will be very fitting indeed, of course. He's not quite had a go. Braham just made a slight feint, make it look like he was going to defend, and that put Barrick off from making the moves. Very difficult to make a move into there because it's not that hard a braking zone. The corner speed is quite fast into the corner. Like I've said, he can carry lots of speed into the corner, and Barrick just retreats and lines himself up for another attack as they head on to the final lap. And there is Francisco Villa looking to take a win for Team ART, Auto Racing Team. The Portuguese driver, teammate of Miguel Neto, has had a disastrous run so far, but VR seems to have pulled his way through, 5th in race 1, taking advantage of lots of battling in race 2 to take a big lead, and also seems to have maybe worked on his setup a little bit for the race, because he looks to be more consistent in his speed than he did in race 1. And there is Yuri, still being pursued by Keith. In 4th is Eric Nelson, showing very strong form. And there it is, in behind those two, is Jesper Tarbog, Boucher and Skurlock. Michael Nato is just in behind, but try as he might, he doesn't seem to be able to get up towards these guys. He may have had a little incident and caused a bit of suspension damage to his car. Can often slow you down just a couple of tenths a lap and also increase tyre wear slightly, so that could be a countable reason for him, because he moved very smartly up through the field in the opening laps, then moved back a couple of places and is now kind of mired in that particular place. He doesn't seem to be able to gain any places despite this battling that's going up ahead, with Jesper defending mightily from the Peugeot of Sal Boucher. In behind him still is Tyler Skurlock. In second place is still Yuri Braham, being pursued by Keith Barrick still. And this is where Barrick really got a run on Yuri in the last lap, building up from this corner around the carousel, heading down Kettle Bottoms and into Canada Corner. Can he get close enough again? It's very, very difficult to be able to make a pass now. He's going to have to get a fantastic exit from the carousel here to get an overlap into Kettle Bottoms, because even if Barrick gets a good run out of here, Yuri can just hold the corner, hold the inside into Canada Corner. It doesn't look like Barrett's got enough of a run, but it seems to be gaining in the draft there. But Yuri seems to have it all under control. Barrett's looking for it inside there, slides back into position. And it looks like Keith will finish in second place for this one. We'll see this for another couple of corners just here now. Barrick is all over the back of Yuri here. Into the final corner they go. Looks like Yuri's going to take that second position, but over the line is going to come Francisco Villar. Congratulations to him, taking a win, and his first win of the season, obviously only in the second race of the season. So it's a winner piece of Villar and Barrick. Villar takes the win. Second place is Yuri Brown. Third is just Keith Barrick. In fourth is going to be Eric Nelson. A fantastic result for him. Fifth is Jesper Tarborg, fighting off the attentions of Tyler Scott. Tyler Scott got past Sal Boucher for sixth place. Seventh is Boucher. Eighth is Miguel Nato. Ninth place will come over the line Kane Lasky. 10th Reggie Blaine. 11th just is going to be Abdul from the hard charging Adam Vaughan in 12th. 13th Nicholas Hamilton. 14th Matthias Kleen, the pole position man. Terrible race for him really. 15th Robert Isles. Just behind him is Andre Gallardo. 17th Michael John Sheplingham. Paul Wood in 18th. 19th is Matthias Mern. 20th Daniel Wood comes over the line. 21st comes over the line. That is, if I can just find out, is Alessio Lucchese. Lucchese did take place in race 2 after missing race 1. In 22nd place now, coming over the line. I can't quite see who that is in behind the scoring there. In 22nd place, coming over the line will be Stefan Werner. So that's a very disappointing result really for Stefan Werner. 23rd, coming now down the straight, will be Darius Radersky, who has had a monumentally bad race. So not quite sure what happened to Darius Radersky in that race, but he'll be very disappointed with 23rd place there. 24th place will be Dan Asbury, but he disconnected from the race. And 25th as well. So Francisco Villar takes first place. Yuri Braham takes second. Keith Barrick takes third. I think that makes Barrick the championship leader after round 2. Indeed it should do, with the first and the third. Braham with the second and the third. Villar with the first and the fifth. Tarborg 5th. Skurlock 6th. Sal Boucher 7th. Nato fighting back well, but with a little bit disappointed because he was a bit further up in 8th place. Lasky in 9th. Blaine 10th. Ahmed 11th. And Vaughan in 12th place. So that is the end of round 1, race 2 of round 1 of the first round of the American Touring Car Championship Season 3. If you guys stick around for a little while, we'll have a chat with some of the drivers before the broadcast end. In here at the moment is Mr. Eric Nelson. Eric.
Yes, Ryan.
That looked a very intense battle in race 2 for second place between like 7 drivers duking it out. How did you see it from your point of view?
Well, I had a good battle after the pit stops. I got overtaken by Keith Barrick and Jesper Talberg, and we actually had a bump in turn 1 that separated the field a little bit and allowed me to advance and yet get taken over. So went about even, and then after that, it was game on the entire way.
It was incredible. I mean, after it all sorted itself out, actually everyone just moved up one place, it seemed, apart from Francisco Villar. It was
Correct.
It's kind of sorted itself out in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And then just watching
you had
Keith
very,
and
very
Yuri
good
up
pace
ahead.
towards the end of... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, watching Keith and Yuri battle at the end there, it was like they had a tow bar between them. They were just stuck together.
Yeah, they were stuck together. Keith had a couple of looks, but couldn't quite get down the inside. Eric had a very good pace at the end of race 2 there as well. You know, you seem to look after your tyres a lot better than perhaps Jesper did in race 2. Did you make some changes for race 2 when you set up?
You know, actually all I did, Ryan, was I just changed when I pitted because my rear wear was too high in race 1, so I was very loose in my outlap coming out of the pits because I had so much grip in the front. And so what I did is I came in a lap earlier this time to try and keep the car better balanced, so my outlap after the pits was considerably better than my outlap in race 1, and then I was able to go ahead and run a very well-balanced car throughout the rest of the race. It just drove beautiful.
When we saw how Vincent lost ground in the pits and then desperately tried to make a move up the inside and flew straight off into the gravel trap. Not sure what quite was thinking there. Yuri, from your point of view, how did that event go? Very strong win for you, of course, second and third place.
Yeah, indeed. It's better than I expected. After the bad qualify, I didn't expect anything because on this kind of tracks, you really have to be in someone's slipstream and team up just to get advantage or just to run on someone.
It wasn't that bad qualifying. 6th place isn't that bad, Yuri. Come on.
No, but it could be better. I'm really happy with the race results. That's what counts. And yeah, the first race was nice. Turn 1, I could just avoid the chaos, what was happening in front of me.
It was happening in front of you. So what exactly happened there? Because we saw Boucher, NATO, and a couple of others get involved. What exactly was the deal there?
Well, from what I saw is that the car right from me, I think it was a DHR car, hit the Portuguese team. I think it was Mikel Nito. And he just flew in front of me, and I could just avoid him. And and if you avoid that kind of accidents, you just win so much time to run on front.
It seemed to ruin Miguel Neto's event really as well. He was very aggressive throughout the race, and then had a couple of instances as well in race 2. Keith, congratulations for your race 1 win. Very well done to you, and also, of course, you'll now have the overall championship lead, having taken a 1st and a 3rd place. Obviously, in the first race, you were got pull away once you get, well, not pull away exactly, just stay ahead of Darius, who was applying maximum pressure throughout the entire race. How did that first race go for you? How did you see it?
It was a good start right off the line. Darius had a lot of straight line speed when he was in the draft, and he was able to get inside. And I probably could have defended to hold the position better, but with the cold tires and just the way things had gone leading up to the start, I didn't feel like ruining my race just defending the position early. So we battled the first stint, and I was able to make a good run and get by him. And the goal was to get by him before the pit stops. So when the pit stops did rattle off, my goal was to stay out a couple lap, maybe I think it was a lap or 2 more, and then have 2 quick. Well, yeah, I normally I would pit early, but I was thinking that him and I believe it was Yuri would be battling, exiting the pits. So I was hoping they would slow each other down, and I would be able to get a bit of a lead. Unfortunately, I ended up losing a little bit of the lead that I had gained before the pit stop. So after the pit stops, I came out, and Darius was literally on my bumper for the remainder of the second stint, and it was all I could do to keep him behind me. I mean, he had good pace. It's just, to make a move this early in the season, and a really risky move. I think it's everyone's thinking about the long run in the first race.
How did race 2 go for you? You were involved in that monumental battle for second place throughout most of the race, to be honest. That was incredible to watch, especially the opening stint. People darting around everywhere, right and left. And obviously Vincent Callan and Darius lost out in the end with individual mistakes. I'm not sure what happened there with Darius, but we saw Vincent Callan. In fact, actually, you were in prime position to see Vincent Callan go fly past you. What exactly happened with him there? Did he just overcook it into the corner, or...?
Well, it was. I believe when we all came out of the pits. I know from experience that if there's a number of cars in front leading up to the first corner, because your brake point is so small, if you miss it by any margin, you could end up going straight off the track. And with having that many cars kind of blocking your like your eye points or your braking points that you've marked, it could just end up where you completely miss it, and all he's trying to do is not hit anybody. And I mean, it's just something that you can't really prepare for, because when 3 cars come out, they're sitting right in the corner, and you're at full speed. It's hard to say what's going to happen.
Those 3 cars line abreast as well. They were nose to tail.
Yeah, exactly. And it's unfortunate. Obviously, my teammate, but he'll bounce back. Season 2 champion.
No, it's not good. Not good defense of his title. Darius. Very well done for race 2, and you look to be in the hunt for very well done for race 1, and you look to be in the hunt for race 2, but you went a lap down. What happened there? Did you a speeding penalty or something like that?
Yes. Good morning, Ryan, and hi guys. Yes. Race 1. Let's start with this one.
Yeah.
It was a very good battle. I did stay on Keith bumper for most of it, and I did overtake him once, and a big mistake at the end of the back straight put me back in second, and I decided to just stay there and try to make my time in pits, and almost worked. It was quite scary when I saw Keith. I had to brake quite early and quite hard not to hit him, but that's racing, and if I just got another 2 tenths, maybe 3 tenths, I would end up in front. But very good drive from Keith.
Yeah, in race 2 you got a fantastic start. I mean, it was BMW 1-2 out of the first corner, and then into turn 3 down at the bottom of the straight. You went wide and got yourself back in. You found yourself back in 7th place, 6th place, in fact, I think it was. And then after the pit stops, you just you disappeared. I presume it was a speeding penalty, was it?
No. I got this NVIDIA Jinx game.
Oh no!
Yes, it just happened to me. So I was off. I don't know for how long. About 2 minutes, and when I reappeared, the track looked funny, and all my braking points were gone. I had different tarmac colors. I could not make the corners, not all of them. But I just carry on and try to finish the race, and it wasn't that bad. So
well, you managed to pick up a few points, of course, by finishing. So.
Yes. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking of dropping out because the graphics were really bad. But I thought, no, I need some points, so I just carry on in last place. But there you go.
Well done, Darius.
Well done to you too.
Thanks everyone for a fantastic race. Well done to Keith for his 1st and 3rd, and also Yuri for his double podium. Great entertainment it has been, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks' time at the Nürburgring.
And we'll have all the little issues that we ran into tonight. I want to thank everybody for sticking around.
Don't tell them about that.
No,
maybe people haven't seen them.
No, we'll be moving forward from there. It's, I guess, all the preparation. We're getting everything out of the way in the first race. So, Ryan, thank you again for commentating and sticking around through everything.
It was my pleasure. To be fair, it was highly entertaining. I'm sure the viewers will say so too. And so, thanks to everyone who has watched this or is in fact downloading this right now. So, thanks to everyone again, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time at the same time on a Friday night at the Nürburgring GP. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you, Ryan.
Cheers, guys.
All right, good night, guys. I'm off. I'm absolutely dead.
Take care, Darius. Fun racing, man.
Yeah, Darius.
It was good fun. Yep. Cheers.